My friends, this is a great time to become a channel member. Every week now I'm posting uncensored videos exclusively for my channel members, along with custom emojis and live streams for members at the Arch-Villain level where you get to talk to me directly. Please consider supporting this channel by clicking the link in the video description and joining us in our fight to save pop culture. And also, check out our Patreon and Subscribe-Star pages for exclusive content you won't find anywhere else, including Harvey Cthulhu's insane podcasts, photos of my vast toy collection, and members at the Legionnaire level receive a signed photo, membership card, and certificate signed by me. You'll find the Patreon link in the video description as well. Thanks for watching, my friends, and now on to the video. My friends, sometimes something happens that just kicks you in the head with how ludicrous it is, and leaves you kind of reeling and speechless until finally all you can do is just say, "Holy shit, what did I just see?" Well, my friends, that's how I'm feeling right this minute after watching Amandla Stenberg's social media post about why the Acolyte was canceled. Watching her going on in a vacuous, deluded little tirade while doing a bizarre impression of a valley girl doing her hair and virtually saying whatever over and over again. Listen carefully to what she says, folks, and you'll hear an eye-rolling whatever practically between every single line. In a moment, we're going to deliver a line-by-line rebuttal to what she said that is harsh, stinging, and loaded with truth bombs addressed not just to Amandla, but to all the wokies who cloak themselves in her delusions. Look, folks, it should be no surprise at all that the people who created the Acolyte are delusional. I mean, how the hell do you make something so utterly misguided and devoid of any logic, coherence, adherence to Star Wars canon, and just plain basic entertainment value and still feel good about putting this trash out in the public sphere where anyone with an ounce of perspective and self-awareness would know that it's a pile of self-indulgent wankery that Onan himself would have been embarrassed to spill out upon the public sands. Aside from all the offensive slights and mistakes and cringe assaults on Star Wars canon and the Acolyte, the stupidity of this thing, coupled with how immensely boring it was, should have prepared the cast and crew of the Acolyte for this thing to be publicly shit on in the public square. What else did you expect? After all the reshoots, after Disney allegedly sitting on the finished product for months and months before shrugging and throwing it out there, knowing it was going to be received like a dog receives a fire hydrant. But listening to this wacky woke ramble on vacuously about how it was right-wing toxic fanboys who torpedoed our otherwise perfect show is absolutely hilarious and stunning in the depths of its delusion.
There is enormous value in watching her pathetic little tirade, Doomcock, because listening to her rambling on gives you a perfect glimpse into the woke mindset. The vacuous valley girl delivery as she does her hair is a perfect microcosm of the woke worldview. Immune to facts, immune to the relationship between merit and reward, immune to the notion of accountability and failure, these sad little participation trophy collectors view everything they do as flawless and attribute any failure to societal injustice. That's why wokeness is a shelter for the terminally untalented. You can engage in artistic endeavors, and when you fail due to lack of ability, you can preserve your own sense of entitlement and excellence by simply blaming a racist, sexist society and ignore the fact that you suck and you failed. Her 8-minute video statement is a perfect microcosm of what's wrong with the woke movement. They're so absolutely convinced they're right in everything they do, they can never have the perspective to comprehend the many reasons why they fail. Very true, Skull of Calderon. The only way an artist can ever achieve excellence is the opposite of what Amandla Stenberg does here. You must examine your failures, assess what you did wrong, be hard on yourself, and be determined to improve. The only path to success, other than dumb luck, is a passionate commitment to seek out excellence. There's an amazing lack of commitment to excellence in The Acolyte, and indeed in 99% of Disney's Star Wars, and therein lies the problem. It's not politics, it's simple human aesthetics.
I would play you the video of what Amandla Stenberg said, my friends, but I don't want to get slammed for it by YouTube. So, exclusively here in this video, our own Harvard J. Cthulhu will give you a dramatic reading of what Amandla said, emulating his impression of her style. Go on X and check out her post for yourself afterwards and see if Harvey was all that far off in his dramatic reading. But I'm skeptical, frankly, that even Harvey at his most sarcastic could possibly be as cringe as Amandla herself. Harvey, your recitation with your commentary and rebuttal to her, if you please.
It's not a huge shock for me that it was canceled. Well, congrats, Amandla. It wasn't a shock for those of us who had to watch this shit either, but participation trophies all around. Of course, I live in a bubble of my own reality, and for those who aren't aware, there has been a rampage of vitriol that we have faced since the show was even announced, when it was still just a concept and no one had even seen it. Well, given that we knew it was KK and former Harvey Weinstein assistant Leslie Headland, and you started this whole thing saying the Force is female, a certain amount of skepticism was called for, Amandla. In all the years and years of anger after shit like The Last Jedi and Rusev Soy Woker and The Kenobi Show, you were catching the fallout from years of abuse of Star Wars fans, and if you didn't see that coming, you're an idiot. You don't see that coming after all these years. You have no business doing a Star Wars show because you're nothing but a tourist in our realm of pain, a bystander hired on as a temp worker in our office. But Amandla continues. That's when we started experiencing a rampage of hyper-conservative bigotry and vitriol, prejudice, hatred, and hateful language towards us. This really affected me when I first got the job, because it's just not something, even though I anticipated it happening, it's not something you can fully understand what it feels like until it's happening to you. So I guess none of the failure was your fault, right, Amandla? None of it was the fault of the writers and directors who thought the power of one, the power of two, the power of many would escape getting laughed off the air and memed to death? Are you high? What the... But she continues. It has been an incredible honor and dream for me to be in this universe. And I just want to let those people out there know who supported us in that way and supported us vocally in the face of all the vitriol we received. That the kind of the targeted attack I would say we received by the alt-right, just that you were deeply loved and appreciated, and it made this job all the worthwhile for me. Oh, geez, I guess I missed that memo. So now it's only the alt-right who hate bad writing and cringe acting? Wow, who'd have thunk it? I wonder, how come the same alt-right bigots that hate diversity loved The Expanse, where the most powerful person on Earth was a woman of color that we all adored? And we all loved Naomi, Nagata, and Drummer, and the lesbian priest, and Fred Johnson, man of color in charge of Tycho Station? The difference is that The Expanse was a brilliant show that treated its audience and its characters with integrity and honesty, and The Acolyte sucked. See, that's the difference. Expanse didn't suck. Acolyte sucked. I hope that's clear enough for you, Amandla. But I guess it's easier to blame the rest of the world for your failure than it is to blame yourself. It's not lost on me how the way that these events have unfolded is also due to the hyper-divisiveness of the time that we live in that is driven, I would say at this point, by echo chambers of thought and algorithms that reinforce our biases, and I think that applies to everybody. But I think that in a particular sect of people, it manifests as a lot of fear for what is changing and a lot of hatred for anything that is other. Well, hun, here's the deal. If you're doing a Star Wars show, it shouldn't be other than Star Wars. See, there's the rub, as that straight white male Shakespeare would say. You should listen to him. Let him mansplain to you for a little while. You might learn something. If you do a Star Wars show and you're mostly concerned with inserting political messages that have nothing to do with Star Wars and that the fans are going to hate, well, shit like this happens.
An excellent job, Harvey Cthulhu. I could not have done it better myself. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends. Oh, yes. Stay angry. Ha 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 ha.